everybody, welcome to BrickVault. My name is Jack and today we've got a very large Minecraft set for you guys. This is the village. This set is recommended for ages 8 and up. It is set number 21128 and it has 1600 pieces exactly. Included are 11 characters, and from those characters 6 of them are minifigs, and from those minifigs 3 of them are brand new and exclusive to this set, namely being the 2 villagers and the zombie villager. This village comes with a ton of stuff, including a market, a garden, a well, bunch of houses, a blacksmith, and probably a bunch of other stuff that I'm forgetting, but I'll get to that when I actually build the village, so let's open up the box first. 1600 pieces produces quite a lot of bags. There are 11 numbered bags here. Surprisingly, none of them are repeats. There is one unmarked bag with plate pieces and a bag with 2 manuals. One is large and one is small. Let's get started right now. Alright, just finished this giant set. There's a lot of stuff going on here, a lot of stuff I want to talk about, but first let's check out the minifigs. Might as well take a look at the new minifigs for this set. So here are the 2 villagers. We've got our white coat villager and our brown coat one. I think the white coat guy was supposed to be a librarian, or maybe he's the shopkeeper, and the brown coat guy could be something like the farmer or the butcher. Either way, the color of their torso piece is the only difference between these 2 figs, and that head piece of theirs is new as well as the torso piece. And interestingly enough, they come with the short minifig legs, and those arms can't move, so the only thing posable on these figures is the rotation of their head. He now becomes a zombie villager, which has the exact same body as a regular zombie, except he now has a special green zombie villager head. Nothing too involved with these new minifigs, but I'm pretty happy with their design. Here are some other guys. These are the protagonists. We've got Steve and Alex. Steve coming with an iron sword, and Alex coming with a diamond pickaxe. These guys have come in a bunch of sets, and here's one full rotation. Now here's the pig, baby pig, and creeper. I think maybe the pig or baby pig is new. Can't remember off the top of my head which of the sets came with the pig or baby pig, but either way they have the same headpiece, and there's just a slightly different build for the boxy body. The creeper is still the same with the single creeper body piece, a couple of flat tiles on the side, and the creepy creeper face. Our last 2 guys are an Enderman, which is kind of nice, and probably one of the best characters to have for this set. We've got an Iron Golem. He doesn't have the special pop-out function like he did in the Iron Golem set, but I'm glad we got another one of these guys for the village, and him along with the rest of the figures makes this set feel very complete in terms of the characters that it comes with. Alright, and here is the entire village. This is the default setup we have for the village right here, but this whole thing is very modular and it can be split into a bunch of different pieces. So for review's sake, let me just take the whole thing apart and go piece by piece. Let me just start by saying that I didn't think any of the structures here were really lacking, but I really like this build for the blacksmith. The shape of the structure on the outside is pretty nice, very simple, but I like the build for the roof. And I believe these studless 6x6 pieces have never been made in dark gray before, so that's a new piece for this set. But this structure has one of the nicer ways of unfolding to allow access to the interior. The entire roof and front wall are all connected, and they flip back over 90 degrees to allow full access to the inside. You can see what looks like a bit of lava in these two little builds here on the side with a nice print that represent the furnace. I like the build for tables and chairs in the corner. It's a nice simple build, and the designers put this in some of the other structures as well. Once again, I really like the opening and closing function of the blacksmith, but there's a lot of structures, so let's move on to another one. This one is also new. We have the marketplace. I like this little build here. The vine on the tree makes me think this could be part of the jungle biome. But the main thing that draws my eye is this nice little display of goods in the front. Here we have an Eye of Ender, along with a cake, apple, and an iron ingot. The chest is full of emerald pieces, and our merchant has a very simple build for a small stand. I also like this build for the plant next to it. Moving on to the next section, I believe this is our first well. It is appropriately set in a desert biome. If the sandy colored plates at the bottom weren't a giveaway, we've also got a cactus and some dried out shrubs, which is actually a new color for this piece. The build for the well itself is pretty simple. You can easily take off the roof, which is being held up by these 4 little posts. And there you have a better view to see a bucket full of water. And if you look just inside, yes, there is a single trans blue 2x2 to show some water in the well. You also get 2 of these builds in the village set, one being next to the well, and it's a nice little lamppost. It holds 4 torches, and when this piece is together in the set, it's a nice little element that adds to make this village feel just a little bit more together. Moving on, let's take a look at these houses. They're both pretty similar in construction, so let's just take a look at this one first. And this house looks pretty darn good from all angles. I like that the roof is very smooth and there's not a lot of studs showing, and I think they got the villager house to look pretty darn good. This house I like a little bit more because we've got 2 doors here. One is the front door of the house, of course, and the back door leads out to what you might be able to call a balcony, or a back porch maybe, but it's definitely a little bit too small to be a pen. The interior opens up very easily, and I remember in the designer video, one of the guys was saying that this is the butcher's house, but really the inside of the house is kind of what you make it, and you can see just about anything in here can be modded pretty easily. Once again, there's another little table and chair setup, and this house altogether comes with 5 windows. Here is the next house, which is a little bit simpler, but I think can more appropriately be called the library. There's 3 little modular bookshelves here that can easily be taken out and rearranged if you like, and the inside shows a couch, table, and also a little crafting table. I like that each of these houses has their own little environment. This one here has some mushrooms growing around the back, and the double-doored house that we just looked at before, you might have noticed has some pumpkins. But speaking of things that grow, here is the garden. And this section here is probably one of my favorite parts of the village. It's a nice little planter box build with 2 rows of growing vegetables. On one side we've got some carrots and potatoes, and on the other side I believe we have different amounts of matured wheat. There is a little trough of water that runs through the middle, which I like, and right next to it is where the second set of torches are. Just beside the garden is our pen with a couple of pigs. This is a very similar kind of build that we've had from a lot of other Minecraft sets, and it's just big enough to hold both of the pigs. Also, I like that there's just a little bit of extra land here with some water and a tiny bit of growing sugarcane. Moving on to our last structure of the entire village, we've got our Watchtower. Based on the build around it, you can tell this is a much colder climate now, with a little bit of snow on the steps, and even some ice on the ground. I like the build for the tower. The body is very simple, but I am a big fan of this banister look that's been used throughout many of the Minecraft sets. The tower itself is modular, and can be easily removed, and that way you get a better look at some of the emeralds that you can mine underneath. Gotta say though, putting the tower back on, I thought I had made a mistake when looking at the little gap in the front of the tower there, but this is the way the tower was designed, and I just kind of wish that there was a single tile piece more to cover up that little gap. But that doesn't really matter, this is a Minecraft set after all, and you can always just cover it up like this. And that is just my tiny spur-of-the-moment modification to this set, but when we take a look at the manual, you can see that there are 2 major modifications that you can do to this set. The first one involves taking apart the larger of the 2 villager houses and turning that into a double-gated wall for protecting the village, and the second build disassembles the marketplace and the well to turn it into a jail cell and a chest on a stand. Because these modifications require different parts of the village, you have the choice of modifying one, the other, or both at the same time. Looking back at the set all together one more time, I really like that all these pieces are connected so that there are no gaps between any of the plates, and it's just one massive play area. And the designers did a very good thing here by adding all the different environments to each end of the village. So if you own a different LEGO Minecraft set, there's a pretty darn good chance that it'll be able to attach to this village in some way or another. The construction of the buildings here are great, and they really got the shape of these villager houses down. And altogether, I would say this is a very good execution from concept to final LEGO form. Alright, so that is it for the LEGO Minecraft Village set review. If you want to buy the set, we will leave links in the video description below. If you enjoy our content, feel free to subscribe, and we will see you next time at BrickVault.